Listen up, because what I'm about to tell you is gonna shake the foundation of Soldier Field. We've got an offensive line falling apart that's putting the future of this franchise in serious danger. Secret talks at Harless Hall about benching our star quarterback, and a defensive move that would go against everything the monsters of the Midway stand for. 3 bombs going off right now that are gonna shape the next 5 years of this team. If you bleed navy and orange, you can't miss a second of this. Stick around till the end, because what's coming is brutal. Look, I've been watching this team struggle to protect the quarterback for years, since Trubisky was getting chased all over the NFC North, to watching Justin Fields run for his life every Sunday. And now that we finally have Caleb Williams, the future of this franchise, turns out the O-line is still a disaster. But what just happened with our starting guard has the whole organization in full-blown crisis mode. Let me ask you this. How many times have we seen our quarterback on the ground this season? How many times have we screamed at our TVs watching the pocket collapse in 2 seconds? I think we all know the answer. Way too many! Turns out our starting guard, the guy who's supposed to protect the blind side, has been dealing with a knee injury that's way more serious than the team let on. We're talking structural damage that needs immediate surgery and will keep him out not just for the rest of this season, but maybe even the start of next year. And here's what really pisses me off. The team knew. They knew for 3 weeks and still kept playing him because they thought they could manage it. Manage a knee injury on an offensive lineman. Are they out of their minds? This is the kind of decision that's kept us stuck in mediocrity for years. Because now, we're not just losing our starter. We're losing him for longer than we had to if they just acted when they should have. I'm telling you right now, Ryan Poles needs to answer for this. While the Packers are protecting Jordan Love like he's made of glass, we're out here playing with fire on the O-line. And Caleb Williams is the one paying the price every time he gets slammed to the turf. But here's the part no one's talking about. The replacement. We've got a backup guard who's played exactly 47 snaps this season. 47. And now this guy's supposed to protect the future of our franchise against Aiden Hutchinson from the Lions and Zadarius Smith from the Vikings. Do you understand how big of a problem this is? The numbers don't lie. Our starter gave up just 2 sacks in the first 8 weeks. The backup, 3 pressures in 47 snaps. Do the math. If you stretch that out over full games, we're talking about maybe 8 to 10 extra sacks the rest of the season. And you know what's worse? We had the cap space to bring in help during free agency. We had $12 million sitting there after the summer cuts. And Poles decided to stash it for next year. Meanwhile, Detroit's spending like crazy to build a contender now. And we're out here playing Monopoly with our salary cap. I think this is a massive mistake. Because no matter how talented Caleb Williams is, if he doesn't have time to throw, if he's constantly under pressure, we're going to wreck his development. And that's exactly what happened with Justin Fields. We threw him to the Wolves with no protection. And now he's in Pittsburgh trying to rebuild his career. The question every Bears fan should be asking is this. Did we learn anything from our past mistakes? Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like we're running the same playbook. New quarterback, same O-line issues, same lack of urgency to fix it. And don't come at me with, it's part of the development process. You know who else thought that? The Bengals with Joe Burrow. And they almost wrecked his knee in year 2 because they didn't invest in protection. They had to learn the hard way. And now they've got one of the best O-lines in the league, but they almost lost their franchise QB in the process. Chicago can't afford that. Not with Caleb Williams. Not after everything we gave up to get him. And definitely not with the competitive window we've got with this current defensive core. So what should Poles do now? I'll tell you what he should be doing. Calling every available free agent. Bring in vets, even if it's just for the rest of the season. Because if we lose Caleb Williams to an avoidable injury because of a busted O-line, this city's gonna explode. And rightfully so. If that shocked you, wait till you hear this. Now, if you thought the O-line situation was bad, what's going on with the quarterback position is about to split this city in half. And I'm not exaggerating. We're talking about a decision that could define the next 5 years of this franchise. Remember when we brought in Caleb Williams as the savior of this organization? #1 overall pick, the guy who was finally going to bring us back to relevance, the quarterback to break the curse we've had since Sid Luckman? Well, turns out there's a very real conversation happening at Harless Hall about his immediate future. And it's not the one you're expecting. Let me ask you, what do you do when your franchise QB is struggling, but you've got a veteran on the roster who knows the system and might give you a better shot to win right now? Do you sacrifice long-term development for short-term results? Or do you stay the course and ride out the growing pains? Because that's exactly the dilemma Matt Eberflus is facing right now. Caleb Williams has thrown 6 picks in the last 3 weeks. His passer rating is 78.4, second worst among starting QBs in the NFC. Meanwhile, the veteran backup has been lighting it up in practice. I'm talking 85% completion in scrimmages, quick reads, moving the offense efficiently. And here's the controversial part. There are voices inside the coaching staff pushing for a change, not permanent, but temporary. Sit Caleb for 2 or 3 games, let him watch from the sideline, give him a chance to process the NFL game without the pressure of executing every snap. I think that's insane. Insane! You know why? Because we've seen this movie before. The Cardinals did this with Josh Rosen, sat him, played the vet, and shattered his confidence. Rosen never recovered. He's out of the league now. But here's the flip side. What if we keep playing Caleb behind this broken O-line and he gets hurt? Or worse, what if he starts developing bad habits trying to survive? That's exactly what happened with Justin Fields. He started relying too much on his legs, stopped progressing through reads, and eventually we had to move on. The stats tell a scary story. Caleb's getting pressured on 42% of his dropbacks. That's the 3rd highest rate in the league. When he's got a clean pocket, his passer rating is 102.3, under pressure, 61.8. That's a massive drop. But here's the question no one wants to ask. Is this Caleb's fault, or is it the system around him? Because I've watched the tape. I've seen the routes our receivers are running. I've seen the protection schemes. And I'm telling you, Aaron Rodgers would struggle with this roster. While the Vikings have Justin Jefferson getting open on every route, our guys are being covered on 68% of their snaps. While the Lions have Ben Johnson scheming guys open, we're running concepts that rely on receivers winning one-on-one every time. And you know what? Our receivers aren't Calvin Johnson. They're not Davante Adams. They're solid, but they need help from the scheme, and they're not getting it. So when I hear people inside the building talking about benching Caleb, I ask, are they watching the same games I am? Or are they just looking for a scapegoat for deeper, systemic problems? Because here's the uncomfortable truth. If we bench Caleb and the vet comes in and struggles too, then what? Do we admit the problem isn't the quarterback? It's everything else? And what does that do to the confidence of a #1 overall pick you just benched? I'll tell you this. Great quarterbacks are forged in adversity. Tom Brady was rough his first year starting. Peyton Manning threw 28 picks as a rookie. Troy Aikman went 0-11 his first season. They all became legends because their team stuck with them. But there's another side to that. David Carr got destroyed behind a terrible O-line in Houston and never recovered. Same with Tim Couch. There's a point where adversity stops building character and starts breaking careers. So where's that line with Caleb Williams? Have we crossed it? Are we close? I think we've still got time. But the window's closing fast. Every sack, every pick, every game where he's running for his life chips away at his development and confidence. The decision Eberflus makes in the next 2 weeks is going to define his legacy in Chicago. If he keeps Caleb in and the kid gets hurt, he'll get crucified. If he benches him and kills his confidence, same deal. It's a no-win situation. All because we didn't fix the real problems in the off-season. But that's nothing compared to what's coming. Now we get to the story that's really going to shake this franchise to its core. Because we're talking about our identity as a team. We're talking about the monsters of the Midway. We're talking about what makes the Chicago Bears the Chicago Bears. Defense. From Butkus to Urlacher, from Singletary to Briggs. This franchise was built on dominant defense. It's in our DNA. It's who we are. And now, there's a move in the works that could completely change that identity. Let me ask you this. What happens when your best linebacker, the heart and soul of your defense, the guy who leads in tackles, communication, energy, suddenly becomes trade bait? What does that say about the direction of your franchise? Because that's exactly what's happening right now. Our star linebacker, a two-time All-Pro in the last 3 years, is being actively shopped to multiple contending teams. And here's what's got me absolutely fuming. The front office is listening. Are they out of their damn minds? Completely insane. This guy is 26. He's in his prime. He's the kind of player you build a defense around for the next decade. And we're thinking about trading him for draft picks that might never turn into anything close to his level. I think this is a betrayal of everything this franchise stands for, because the Bears don't trade away their defensive stars. The Bears build around them. That's how we won the Super Bowl in '85. That's how we got back there in '06. But here's the part that really worries me. The reason behind this potential move. It's not just about draft value. It's about money. Our linebacker's got 1 year left on his rookie deal, and he's going to want a massive extension. We're talking $20 million a year, maybe more. And Ryan Poles is looking at that number and thinking, can I justify paying that to a linebacker when I've got other key guys to extend? Can I build a balanced roster with that kind of investment in one position? Those are fair questions. But here's my answer. What's the value of your franchise identity? What's the value of having a leader on the field who inspires everyone around him? What's the value of continuity and culture? Because let me tell you what happens when you trade your best defensive player. The 49ers traded DeForest Buckner. Their D-line was never the same. The Seahawks let Bobby Wagner walk. Their defense dropped from top 5 to bottom 20. The Bears traded Khalil Mack and, well, we all saw what happened. The stats are clear. When our linebacker's on the field, we allow 4.1 yards per carry. Without him, 5.3. Our pass defense rating improves by 12 points when he's playing. 12! That's the difference between a top 10 defense and a mediocre one. And it's not just about stats. It's about leadership. It's about having someone who can adjust the defense at the line. It's about having someone opposing offenses have to game plan around. But here's the part no one's talking about. What message does this send to the locker room? If you trade your best defensive player, what does that say to Caleb Williams? What does that say to free agents you're trying to bring in? It says the Bears aren't serious about winning now. It says we're stuck in rebuild mode again. And I'm sick of rebuild mode. This city is sick of rebuild mode. We've been rebuilding since 2011. At some point, you've got to stop hoarding picks and start winning football games. The team's calling about our linebacker. They're contenders. The Ravens, the Niners, the Cowboys. Teams that are one piece away from a Super Bowl. And we're going to help them while we sit here in Chicago, hoping our second-round pick turns into something by 2027. Do you see how insane that is? I'm telling you right now, if Ryan Poles pulls the trigger on this trade, those picks better turn into All-Pros. Because if not, this city will never forgive him. And they shouldn't. Here's the reality. Competitive windows in the NFL are short. We've got a rookie quarterback on a rookie deal. That's the golden window. That's when you ADD pieces, not subtract them. The Rams got it. The Bengals got it. Even the Lions get it. Now, but us, we're thinking about doing the opposite. We're thinking about trading our best defensive player during our quarterback's rookie window. And you know what's most frustrating? There's a way to keep both. There's a way to structure the linebacker's deal that doesn't break the bank. There's a way to build a competitive roster while paying your stars. But it takes creativity. It takes aggression. It takes a real commitment to winning now. And I'm not sure this front office has that. Because if they did, we'd have fixed the O-line in the offseason. If they did, we wouldn't be talking about benching our #1 pick. And we damn sure wouldn't be thinking about trading the heart of our defense. The question every Chicago Bears fan needs to be asking is this. What's the plan? What's the vision? Are we building to win? Or just building to build? Because after 14 years without a division title, 18 years without a championship game, and nearly 40 years without a Super Bowl, this city deserves answers. This city deserves a clear plan. And this city definitely deserves better than watching its best linebacker in another team's jersey. So there you have it. 3 stories shaping the future of the Chicago Bears right now. An offensive line in crisis, putting our franchise QB at risk. A quarterback controversy that's splitting the coaching staff. And a defensive move that could completely change the identity of this team. Let me ask you, do you agree with the direction Ryan Poles is taking? Do you think we should bench Caleb Williams temporarily? And should we trade our star linebacker for draft picks? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. And if you're as passionate about this team as I am, you need to subscribe to this channel right now. Because tomorrow, we've got exclusive info on what's going down inside Hallis Hall that you won't want to miss. This is a family. This Bears fan community that bleeds navy and orange. And together, we're going to follow every move, every decision, every game until we finally bring the Lombardi Trophy back to Chicago where it belongs. Hit like if you think Poles is making a mistake. Subscribe if you think we need to keep our linebacker. And drop a comment telling me what you would do if you were running this team. Bear down Chicago. See you in the next video.